Alright, welcome to another one of my Minecraft videos. Today we are going to be going over my Germanic church, and before I start off, I'd like to let you know that there are about 200 plus entities inside of this church, and it is going to cause a lot of low frame rate, so that's just a warning ahead of time, as well as this is where we start to get into the more or the specific side of this world in terms of how it relates to World War II. And before I even move any further, I do not condone anything that the NSDAP party did, or nor am I affiliated with it. And this is a World War II German themed map. So I'm just going to put that out there. Obviously, I took some creative liberties as well when doing some of this stuff. So this is just a warning ahead of time, especially for younger aged viewers, that there's going to be potentially some offensive content to some people within. So just as a warning ahead of time. As I slowly circle around this church with extremely low frame rate, I will say that this church was one of my earlier builds as well. I think I built this, I can't remember if I built this before or after the village shown in the previous videos, but as you can kind of start to see that they're already with my government building that get into the World War II stuff there. But anyway, so in my previous videos, I went over this Germanic village as well as a mansion over there, two parts to that one, and then there's a mountaintop house up there that's also a separate video I've done previously. But without going into anything else here, we'll start to go over this church. I've kind of did a little bit of a external go around here. I'll kind of show this from the outside a bit more before I go in. And then the frame rate is due to 200 plus entities in the church, and you will see why here in a short time. Alright, before I go in here then, there is a little old world gallows here, kind of overlooking the village. And also, before I go in, again, I do not condone anything that the NSDAP party has done, nor am I affiliated with it in any way. And the content may be offensive to some viewers before I go in, so just bear in mind. So, as you can see, 200 plus entities or so are in this church, and this is kind of made into a rally ground unofficially. So that is what you're seeing here. This is the interior. I'm trying to go extremely slow without destroying the frame rate. This is why it is so laggy. Kind of look up here. Chandeliers, ceiling. I only did the interior for this part of the church and not the other half. And I also did a little school subsection as well in an upper floor. But here, I have all of them giving the stiff arm salute, the NSDAP, otherwise known as the Nazi Party. But this is the reason why I did this instead of an actual church. One, because it made it look a lot more interesting, and two, I had a friend who kept griefing my world because he's very anti-religious. He's not Nazi, he's just he hates the words or Catholicism and whatnot. So instead of him griefing it all the time, I turned it into this, and well, it's looks a lot better than what it would have, and it also prevents my friend from griefing this area. So that is kind of the story of why I turned it into this, but I think it turned out very well despite that. I have a little back area here, out the back door, and then I even sometimes joke with this, so if I change skins here, kind of sometimes joke, maybe, oh, here we go. I'm up here. Die große Deutschland ist hier! But, yeah, alright. So we will continue on in this to the other portion. This is the part that is not really furnished as compared to the other side. Then we'll go up to the school area. So going up these stairs. So in that upper part with the kind of arched way that I showed before coming inside, this is what that upper part was. And then going into these other rooms, these would have just been other school portions. Friend did this, that I don't even know why it's there, but not too concerned about it. Same thing with here, much to it. And then this is just kind of a walk around in some parts of the church. This is going to be a little storage area. And this is the stairs going up to the top of the church tower. And it's not really much to it. I think this was just going to be a low bunkhouse up here. A little hidden feature. Steeple. Go back down. Again, sorry for the frame rate. It's all those entities. And then another portion with the friend, or trying to make the friend avoid griefing it, is that I put a dirty secret in this church, kind of making fun of a priest a little bit. But in the basement of this church is something that well, I'll just let you see once I get here. But turned it more into a nightclub in the basement of the church. So that's kind of a little joke and whatnot that I had with the, not necessarily for the kids that the priests are stereotypically known for doing things with, but it could be an adult club too. And did rig up some very horrible notes. Hold on, let's see if I can get this going again. Can't remember. I know I had a beat thing going. Oh, here we go. I think this was the one. Oh yeah, alright. Got some beats going. So let's get these lights going here. Just need a button quick. No, that wasn't it. Redstone is what I needed. There we go. Alright, now we got the dance floor going. I can remember how to get up. There we go. Alright, this is the dance floor I had. Kind of goes around. Fortunately, the beat doesn't really reach over this far over. Then I can also, if need to, turn on the lights if I actually need to see more. Then we'll go back over here. These were the private dance areas. Obviously this was unfinished. Kind of abandoned this since it was underground and another interior. Maybe the Bedrock can get a lap dance. But he will only get a lap dance from Greater Germany itself. Anyway, this is pretty much that. Oh, and then this is where they would come back from. Again, unfinished there. Alright, enough of that. Anyway, we'll continue. That showed pretty much all the church. Just kind of show a bit more of the grounds around it. Actually, again, I'll quickly just show off the leg fest of a rally going on in here one last time before I exit. Try to show some of these upper moldings. So obviously I have the Weimar Republic flag as well as the arguably modern day flag as well. However, it does date back further than that. I forget the exact date. I know I put it in the link of one of my earlier videos. I'd have to look at again. But I really just like the color scheme of the Weimar Republic flag as well as the modern day, well, not necessarily modern, but because that design also dates back to the 1800s as well. So all still fits in. So anyway, we'll come back out here. Timed it perfectly. It's nighttime, so we can see this at night. Again, frame rates are going to take a massive hit while looking in its general direction. And there were some... I tried to use a natural landscape as much as I could. There was some other landscape that was here at the back end that I had to get rid of. But the majority of this is done on a natural landscape. And then of course it's kind of dug into the mountainside here as well. And the frame rate is going to absolutely nosedive. I look away, it fixes itself. But so again, there's the village I had in a previous video, and this is the raised grounds of where the church is on. And I also tried with the German culture. They usually try to make the church steeple taller than any other building in most of their villages. Obviously things like Frankfurt am Main and some of the other bigger cities with skyscrapers, they kind of don't have that rule followed anymore. However, I believe this is 1 block taller than the government buildings, so I did try to make sure that was a thing, and having it raised on this terrain helped in doing that a little bit. But I think it was, can't remember if it was close, that center one might be 1 or 2 blocks higher, but I tried to keep the church steeple taller as with German culture norms. And that is the church. In the next video I will be going over probably the government building here, or I like to call it the Reichstag, even though it's not the actual, nor does it come anywhere close to the actual Reichstag. But yeah, and then castle will be a separate video, as well as what's theirs and a battlefield that's over that way more. But anyway, thank you for watching, and see you in next videos.